afternoon, everybody. If you haven't seen it or just missed it, we just had an extremely exciting match before this one. It was Mega Meisters versus the Smoking Bulldogs. Extremely exciting match that was up. It was the Mega Meisters batted first. Apologies to the Smoking Bulldogs that batted first. And they didn't put on a score that was too challenging at 119 runs, but then the Mega Meisters came in. I would have looked at whether they're going to do it quite easily, but Smoking Bulldogs showed a lot of potential and a lot of character, and near the end they made the stumps and the wickets fall, took some brilliant catches to make life difficult for the Mega Meisters. And the Mega Meisters, although they won easily, it is the Smoking Bulldog character that was really, very impressive. Now, we are getting ready for the CPI Hotshots playing the Bloem Rebels. In the CPI Hotshot sides, we've got Dylan Francis, Edouard Nadia, Franco Lewis, Henry Venter, JP Hunt, Christian Wiese, Louis Fourie, and Werner Rempel. All a bunch of very, very talented people, players. The least experienced guys in the team is Christian Wiese, who's playing his second match for LMS Cricket today. Unfortunately, he hasn't got any 50s yet, but his highest score in his first match was 22. Then we are looking at Dylan Francis, who's already got 150 under his belt. He played, his highest score is 51, and his batting average is 40.5, so he might be one of the guys that's opening. Him together with Franco Pretorius, who's got 37 matches under his belt with a batting average of 45.9. So far the team only has 13 50s between them, but they've got into total 289 matches between all of them. And then the new person in the team is Louis Fourie, who hasn't played any matches for LMS Cricket yet, but we welcome him to see what he's made of, and I can assure you that all the other team captains will be looking with a close eye on him to see what he's capable of. Because remember, it is not long until the winter series will start. We're just doing the formality of finishing up the summer series. Something little like the semi-finals and finals coming up in the next few weeks. So that is going to be very exciting. But then with the winter series, there's going to be 6 more teams joining LMS Cricket. So instead of 19 teams in total, there's going to be 25. Women are returning back to LMS Cricket, so a lot of exciting things coming. Today we had a slight scare of a weather scare, whether this match will be played or not. There was some rain during the week, and the varsity field number 1 was flooded, so the matches was moved to this field, which is varsity field number 3. Now, if you're unfamiliar with varsity field number 3, we are the Bloemfontein LMS Cricket, and playing in Bloemfontein, we are playing in the center of South Africa, which is the Orange Free State. In the center of Orange Free State, you get Bloemfontein. Actually, the perfect center of the Free State, I think, is Wynberg. We're 100 kilometers south of that. And then in the center of Bloemfontein, you get the University of the Orange Free State. They've got a spectacular piece of sports grounds, and there's like 5 cricket fields here. Now, we are sitting on field number 3. To the west, we've got number 4, and then if we the other fields are a little bit further off. But looking back at the field now from our trajectory, behind us is Tempe, and that is a Tempe military base. And when the bowlers come from that end, we'll be referring to the Tempe end. On the other side, you will find the Shimla's rugby field, so that will be referred to as the Shimla end. And we can now see the teams approaching the pitch, getting ready to play. And we just want to see what umpire Ayanda would like to ask. Okay. So this power bank of mine is working as well. For some reason my phone isn't charging, but it isn't getting flatter either. So it's at that midpoint between charging and losing power
at the same time.
So I think when I charged it before the previous game, it was on 60%. It's now on 62%. And my power bank is still full. Yeah. We will probably see now who are the teams and everything. The overlay should appear soon. As soon as the other starts the match. Obviously the toss has happened for the team to be batting first. It looks like the hot shots could be the first team batting. It's a bit difficult to see with both teams wearing purple. But at least we can see that the sound is coming through. It might not be as consistent on the YouTube channel as it is on the highlights reel, but it is looking well on our side. And then we can see that the streaming is on. The match is active. It's just no overlay yet, but from experience we see that that will be sorted out soon by the app. Lekker jy Danny. Danny Pretorius, exactly sure he's team captain, but he's one of the more experienced players in the team. It's bowling, I'm pretty sure. There you go. These CPI hot shots as we suspected at the stumps. Bloem Rebels fielding. And Donny Pretoria is taking care of making sure that he's stretched. Also approaching a holder as you should to stay nimble. Not hurt yourself unnecessarily. Like we said, we have the semi-finals and the finals coming up, as well as the South African Championships. Before going over to the winter, this being a Division 1 game, we should be able to see a lot more action. We see the fielders near the border where they will be making sure that big hits will be caught or the boundaries are being stopped. Sean Higley bowling, he played in the match just before this one. And now we can see why he's such a good player. It's not only one of the rules are that if you are playing in two teams, they can't be in the same division. So the match before this one, between the Smoking Bulldogs and the Mega Meisters, was a Division 2 match. A lot of the players do it to keep sharp about the fellow team. Many of the players now at indoor championship, presumably in Gauteng somewhere. And it's Franco Pretorius and Werner Drembold at the stumps for CPI Hotshots. Bowling coming up now is Dani Pretorius. Like we said, he just warmed up and did his stretches. He is moving around his field like he should. Probably starting this match with plans, knowing what his opposition can do, knowing what Franco Pretorius can do. Not exactly sure whether they are family. I think not. Pretorius being a very common surname in South Africa. Rainbow, not so much. Wake up, well, that was an obvious message. Now it won't be easy to bounce a ball on this pitch now, as it's been played on yesterday, and it's had already 2 matches on, so that will be a soft pitch now. Excellent for spinners. And maybe if you're trying to for fast bowlers, hoping the ball doesn't bounce too much. So making that ball bounce might have been either a message, which we think it is, but Dani Pretorius being a very strong guy, getting a lot of bounce out of this pitch, means that he's planning to get a nick out of this batsman. Trusting his wicketkeeper to catch the ball. And if we can look at the placement of the wicketkeeper as well, he's standing back a little bit further than the Division 1 and 3 matches, after 2 and 3 matches. So which means that he knows that Dani will be bowling fast. That the ball might be nicked, being caught at the wicketkeeper. So that is a plan from his fast bowling. We only see that more in and that was nearly caught by Dani Pretorius. A previous professional golfer. It's obvious he's still playing golf. And then the ball stays low like that. Make it very inconsistent for the batsman, make it very difficult for him to hit the ball. Is the pitch dead? No, Dani Pretorius just showed us the pitch isn't it. Sharing his expertise with Sean Hickley. Sean Hickley knowing exactly what they expect from this pitch since he played in the match just before this one. Was it Division 2 match? And that ball is racing to the boundary. He's being hit for a 4 at Cal corner. Hickley experiencing this in the match before this one, so he will obviously have a plan. Dari Pretoria has something to say. Hickley. Quite being protected at point position. And a projected score harvest at 92 in the second over. CPI Archers will need to race again the inkling of a chance and hit something like that. Well fielded by a youngster here in the team. Shirt saying Stoffy. We will see later on what his real name is. But that was a certain for stopping his tracks close to the boundary. And that was neck to the back, but Rebels are not going, or the CPI shots are not going to even attempt running it. Obviously afraid of the wicketkeeper on that side. We will confirm this later on. Expecting to see a lot of him anyway. Oh, that went right through Banner Remble. Very quick distance. Capitalizing on that fielding mistake by the wicketkeeper and getting a few more runs. That's one thing we can say about the first division cricket team. They look a lot fitter than most of the players in the second and the third division, being more used to running quick runs all day long. And it does it again and sends that ball straight to the fine leg. Obviously versed with a larger range of shots in their arsenal, being in a Division 1 league. You can also expect these guys to hit the ball anywhere they want. Well versed in hitting the ball wherever it needs to be shot to, because that range of theirs is a lot wider than normal. And Dari Pretoria is getting ready for his second over. What message will he send this time? That ball stayed low. Rembled will be troubled by the bounce of that ball. And I can assure you that Dari Pretoria will be very happy to see that he can do with that ball exactly what he wants. And that ball is not going to be happy with that. That one is running to third man. But it's going to be only a single run. We see some cloud cover coming over. And that will be just in front of the sun, not on top of us. Pretorius. And just blasted, and they're going to take a chance to go for a single run. Pretorius lying flat on his stomach on the ground. And the hard shot standing on 18 runs without the loss of any wickets. Projected score 100 runs. Just not able to get off the mark. You can only assume whether it is brilliant fielding by the hard shots, a combination of brilliant fielding and sniper-like accurate bowling. Making it difficult for the batsman to score runs. So glad to see that the level of play in the Division 1 team is so much higher than the second and third division teams. So basically, they're not just handing over positions in the first division. You need to work for it. You have to earn your position, earn your spot. And we see the CPI Archers in the fourth over standing on 21 runs without the loss of any wickets. Some wind gusts coming through. We're having some effect on our videography as well as on our microphones. But as we found out that there's a problem with sound coming through to the YouTube channel anyway, so it might not be that visible. And we see some water coming to the field, the players being there you go. Getting something to drink. Not like us having a luxury of having something to drink right beside us. Hydrated in this heat. These guys are obviously used to being stung by the sun a while. For a bit, you can always put on some sunscreen. They will be used to sunscreen, used to sun by now, but they will not be able to go out if they are not hydrated. And we see Jonathan Hickley bowling. Small guy, but he's also getting some bounce out of the wicket, but Ayana is calling that a wide. Jonathan approaching to Werner Rimble, and he's punishing that ball for a 4. Affirmed by Ayanda. Jonathan getting some guidance on where to place the ball from the more senior players in his team. Young man under extremely a lot of pressure. Chance to face himself, will he break it? But then again, from the Pretorius just hits the ball to long leg through his shots. So unforgiving. John Nickley, if he's making any mistake, he will be punished for that shot. Division 1 game. And that is going to run for a 4. Well done. Werner Remmel picking up the pace, getting the projected score up to 135 runs. Father and son playing in the same team. Two generations playing on the field. Well done. Getting some encouragement from his teammates, knowing that he's under extremely a lot of pressure in a Division 1 game. His father being Sean Eckley, of all people, who's accumulated many Player of the Team awards, of many Player of the Match awards. Obviously a boy that's been playing cricket and been watching his dad playing since a very young age, trying to make his mark. Now we see Dries Maria coming to bowl. Also one of the players that played in the match before this one. A beautiful shot by Werner Remmel. Not going to be a 4, but it was aggressively on his way to be a 4. Let's see if we can move him a little bit closer without losing too much for quality. And we can hear the rebels or the CPI archers encouraging their players. Dries Maria bowling. That ball not going anywhere. Go for a sweep, didn't quite do it, and Dries Maria takes the first wicket of CPI Archers. CPI Archers standing on 38 runs for the loss of 1 wicket in the 5th over. The projected score at 131 will that be enough for the Division Archers playing against Bloem Rebels, who does have quality. Like you saw in the previous match, never say die. Anything that can happen at any moment. Now we see the bowlers of the Bloem Rebels having a discussion. obviously found a weak spot in the armor of the Bloem rebels, so they will be focusing on that now. Powerbank maak gebruik op.
Ek hoor net hy sê iets van 'n powerbank. Maar nee, dan sien jy gebruik as dit so.
As hy kan hou tot die einde van die eerste innings, die tweede innings kan hy myne leen. Want dan behoort hy myne vol genoeg te wees om my innings klaar te maak. Just going to explain this to Ayanda because that is obviously the trouble now. He's running out of battery power. Go. Ali Bowling, also one of the players who played in the match before this one. We see Dylan Francis at the stumps with Banner Dremel now being the more experienced man on the pitch, also being now taking leadership. Dylan Francis faced 3 balls, only delivered 1 run. He will only be expected now to find his rhythm, while Banner Rimbold will continue the onslaught that he started with from the beginning. Quite nicely now. Is he running close to 33 degrees Celsius? Exactly 28 degrees Celsius. So it is in the hottest part of the day. The warmest part of the day now, and we will only be getting cooler from now on. But it's not going to happen fast, it's going to happen gradually. And we see that Ayana's starting the second innings. And that ball is not for a 4, it's racing to the boundary, but it's going to be stopped. Boundaries aren't coming that easy to come by in Division 1 matches. And we also see Quentin Ferreira playing as his second match, as he played in the match before this one. And Mark is calling it a wide. Ferreira into the boundary. That is a misfield which causes a 4. Hands on his head. Without saying it loudly, he's saying sorry, Donnie. Sorry. Sorry, Bloem. Not giving away a single run for free. So things like that happening is a bit frowned upon. Working so hard to keep the CPI options. Run rate low. Standing about 32 runs projected score. 8 innings. They might be a little bit discouraged. Now we can see that they are starting to hit wild. They have any shot trying to get the ball away, even to run just 2 runs. See the fielders of the CPI are being motivated now. They're encouraging each other to keep the run rate low. They maybe given it's now and it's in the warmest spot, they need to keep running the runs instead of hitting boundaries. The entire fielding of the Rebels are now on the boundary. There's no fielders in the circle except obviously the bowler and the wicketkeeper. And it's Ali Hassan now bowling. And that is something that the Rebels will be relishing with Ali's ability to get some turn out of the ball, especially now that the wicket is a bit softer. He should get a lot of spin out of the ball, out of the wicket, and he can confuse the batsman with an uncertain spin. He will be able to put a wicket or 2 down, and I'm pretty sure, although the Rebels are conveniently or quite happy with the hard shots not scoring too many runs, they would like to get some wickets for as well. Excellent job of keeping the run rate low. But at what point will the hot shots feel that they are playing it too safe? Ali bowling just enough to score 2 runs. And they just had a misfield, was able to throw the ball from the boundary and nearly took out the middle stump on the bowler's end. Bowler obviously bowling from the tempo end. Now it's time to change the 9th over. Ali's name hasn't been taken off the change yet, but it will be soon. And just returned back to him. No runs for Banner Rebel. Banner standing on 26 runs from 20 balls. That was his contribution. And Dylan Francis' contribution was 17 runs from 15 balls. And there's another thing that's happening. You can see there. There's in orbit. That's good. Well done by well caught. There's another wicket gone from CPI Archers. It was the second one. They're struggling to put up a comfortable rhythm in scoring boundaries. Unable to do it with the Rebels being super fast to the ball. Super accurate bowling. Making it difficult for the Rebels to get anything on hand. Sometimes they will be getting a bit frustrated and swinging the ball, and something like this happens. You will be trying to go for a 4 or a 6. You know you've got the ability to do it, but you've got the Rebel on the boundary who will be catching that. Here from a yellow issues from the battery pack. Quite fun enough here. The rest of the runs sorry. Councillors will be sorting that out soon. You will be seeing us walking on the field without cricket players. Sort out space. By a shortened out with battery power. And the match continues for the last bit from this side in the first innings. And we see that the hard shots are struggling to come by runs. Maybe playing a bit conservative, but also playing it safe. We can suspect that they will be changing their tactic a lot in about 5 overs from now. 5 to 6 overs. But it's all thanks to the Rebels also being excellent in limiting the runs by precision bowling, keeping it tight to the bowler, to the batsman, and the fielding is extremely quick and spot on. And a beautiful catch that came from one of the I think it was Singh. Now the field is changing sides. Now the bowlers will be depending on where the guts come from that split second, because it's changing all the time. And they will be bowling from the Shimla end. Catch earlier, and it's Dylan Francis and Henry Frieden at the stumps. Ali's been working out that arm from the previous match. Changing the shot a little. It's a bit frustrating here, contending with the wind to get something stable. And you see I've seen Ali bowling. That ball is racing to the boundary, but it's the fielding is too good from the Rebels to get anything loose to go through. Just knocked on the point. Sean Hickley on that area. Very dependable on stopping a ball from going to the boundary. I mean, that's a big hit. It's up in the air. Now it's falling in no man's hand. Not going to be a 4. A beautiful shot. big hit is a 6. Umpire it says it's a 6. Confirmed. Well done, Henry Venter. Changing pace in maybe that was just a loose ball, and Ali's being punished for a loose ball. Unfortunately, that is the name of the game in Division 1. If you're not going to bowl tight, that is going to be punished for a 4 or a 6. Quinton. And another big hit, and that one is racing to the boundary, and that is a 4. A definite decision was made to score more runs in the second half of the first innings. And now we see 10 runs from 2 deliveries. Quinton Ferreira might be feeling a little bit distracted, or he maybe is a little bit distracted, but he might be feeling a little bit unsure of his body. Maybe he'll be changing a tactic soon, because that was a big punishment, a serious punishment, and a serious message from Henry Fenton telling him, give it, bring it, I'll take care of it. No help. And that is going straight to long on. Sorry, long off to Sean Hickley's son, Jonathan Hickley. Another big hit, it's racing to the boundary. Is it going to be stop in time? No, it's not. We see now many more runs coming from the cow corner in. That was Dylan Francis making his voice heard. And we see that projected score jump to 142. Just making the game a lot more exciting. Wondering whether the Rebels will be able to do the same with the batting in the second innings. They've shown that they are very well with the fielding, or they're fielding very well. Now it all depends on whether they will be batting the same. A certain plan was made by CPI hard shots, and we see it taking action. They're showing they deserve to be in the first division, playing the way they do, and actually both teams do. And that was a cheeky shot running to the boundary. So we get leave it for the Lately, but from the third man position, opposite of the field, deep fine leg. misfield is going to cause another run. Maybe a two. Is he going to make it back? Oh, yes. And the hot shots just in time back into the crease, capitalizing on that misfield by the wicketkeeper. It was an overthrow, causing 2 extra runs. Hickley. From our perspective, we can see that this Jonathan Hickley is a very young boy, but very experienced as well. You can see the way that he's coming in for his run. As soon as he pops out behind the umpire, see that he's confident in the way that he's bowling. Maybe just the placement might be off a little, but that is something that gets better as one progresses with your bowling. Was that called? No, that is a 4 called by and confirmed by Ayanda, the umpire. Why the fielder is on the ground, we're not sure. Maybe just fell weird or fell awkward to maybe twist something. Nose up, looks to be fine. Rest of the fielders looking a bit concerned with it. Just the shot there. Hope that it is something not too serious. It was on the ground for a while. And only imagine that he twisted something. Maybe going a little bit further than he used to catch that ball or stop that ball. It's caused some kind of an accident in hurting himself, and the play is stopped due to an injury. Something you don't see a lot in cricket. Something you don't usually see. Hopefully you will be fine. Unfortunately, we don't have any communication to hear what the problem is, because I myself have a emergency call as well. But if he maybe dislocated the finger, that is, I'm not able to help him with that. I've got the equipment for cuts and bruises. Minor bumps and bruises you get when you go camping, whatever. It's not the kind of where you can save a life with. Looks like there's an exchange of players. What happened now and what's happening as we see some of the players taking off shirts. One of them was one of the ones that got injured. We'll get to find out a little bit later get that airplane in. Looks like it's too far off to get a beautiful shot of it. Airplane coming over, went over. But it looks like we are back into the cricket once again. We've got Jonathan Eakley bowling from the Shimla end, and Dylan Francis and Henry Venter on the pitch. Henry Venter facing, just knocks the ball back, and it's going to be 1 run allowed by the CPI hotshots. Whatever happened to the one player that just went off, he's probably going to the hospital, get some medical attention from a clinic. Yeah, that will be a, I think not exactly sure, probably a hospital that will be the closest. Obviously on the university grounds, we've got the university hospital close by, within a few minutes drive. If something was extremely possible, but depending on his medical aid, he should probably go to whatever hospital he's registered at. And we see bowling now coming from man Dries Maria. And that's a wild, and it's going to be missed and caught by the wicketkeeper. If we nicked it, it would have been in trouble, but it didn't. And it's a CPI hotshot standing on 97 runs for the loss of 2 wickets. The projected score 147. We imagined it would have been a lot higher, but it isn't. Back to Dries Maria bowling from the Shimla end. Dylan Francis facing, standing on 28 runs from 20 balls. Sounded like Dylan Francis encouraging his teammate just to run a little bit faster and to make sure that they can get another run in. Obviously now very acutely aware that they need more runs. Now another possibility of a run going ball going to a 4, and that is 4 runs from that delivery. Dylan Francis now opening up and getting to know, or getting to grips with how urgent they need more runs. Playing Bloem Rebels, the projected score of 154 will not be in the ballpark figure they were expecting to get for the match. They were hoping for runs a lot more higher, and there is another application for 4 runs, but it's stopped by Ali, I'm pretty sure. Looks like Ali on that side of the field. Seems like he's just strained his arm, throwing back that ball. You could imagine that players on this level don't do that much, but they're doing it more often than not. It's going to happen. loss of visuals there as our tripod fell over. We knocked it over just as we went to fetch the ball for the players. Now we see the CPI hotshot standing on 114 runs for the loss of 2 wickets. Projected score standing on 163. Gradually rising, that climbing. That's another big hit by Henry Venter. Fielded in the outfield. And that would be once again at the Kiao corner. Now we see a little bit more urgency being played by the CPI hotshots. Just going to see if we can change this camera. There you go. I think it looks a bit better. Oops. There you go. If the wind can stop blowing, we can have a more stable shot, which means the cell phone's ability to focus on the match will improve as the tripod stops shaking. Obviously, the cell phone equipment not up to the standard of video equipment in stabilization wise and keeping focus. Another shot straight to the outfield where it will be stopped by Sean Higley's son Jonathan Higley, throwing back the ball. Another big hit, and that was going to be a voice. No, that was stopped. I'm not exactly sure who the player was, but he went out of his way and stopped a sure fall. But then again, what looks impressive to us might be an everyday occurrence to these guys. Now we see CPI hotshots approaching the 15th over, which means some action is about to happen now. Dylan France is standing on 47 runs, so he will be declaring soon. He would obviously be hoping for going out with a 6 or a 4, but those weren't that easy to come by so far. Jonathan Higley. That was just enough to keep the run rate low. One single run from that delivery. Anything stopping a boundary is a good delivery. That one is up in the air. Is it going to be caught? No. That looks like a 6. Well done by Henry Venter. Now opening up the floodgates to score boundaries thick and thin. Jonathan Hickley being encouraged by his team, knowing that Dylan Francis will now facing the ball, he will be going for big hits, which means there's a possibility of an aerial shot where he will not only be retiring, but he will be replaced by a teammate. There's some kind of a pride in letting a fielder or a batsman walk from taking his wicket rather than him declaring. A batsman declaring is some form of an insult to a fielding team. They didn't have what it takes to get him out. And basically by him retiring, he says, listen, thank you guys, I'm giving my teammates a chance. You've done what you can. It didn't amount to anything significant. I'll be going now on board. Thank you. Try another day. And we see Louis Fourie coming in. And that was the over for Jonathan Hickley, and we now see Dani Pretorius coming in. Well, it will probably be a combination of him and Sean Hickley taking the remainder of the 4 overs that are left. The 2 senior players in the team, they will want to have something to say about the last bit of innings from the CPI hard shots. Now if you look at how many, we're not exactly sure how many overs Dani and Sean has left, but each get 4 overs in a match, which means that 5 players have to bowl, only 5 balls in an over, mistake, 4 overs, only 4 players can bowl, 4 times 5 is 20 overs, and Dani is bowling. Oh, and that is on his shoulder. Poor Louis Fourie just coming in, being welcomed onto the pitch with a ball from Dani Pretorius on the shoulder. I'm telling you, you're standing there with a cap, mate. Not taking my speech seriously. Okay, let's see what you can do. We saw him in the second delivery that he also bounced the ball to the batsman, so he's gotten can send some messages to the batsman. Obviously, more acceptable or higher in cricket. We saw Alan Donald doing plenty of times in international cricket, sending messages to the. Oh, and that is exactly what Dani Pretorius wanted, almost unrooting the middle stump of Louis Fourie. Taking management or taking control of the bowling and sending him a bouncer, then keeping the ball low, taking out the middle stump. That's how it's being done, guys. Go home, boy. Now only in the 16th over, CPI hard shots are standing on 134 runs for the last of 3 wickets, and We see that the projected score is hovering at 160 runs. I've got the feeling they will be able to do that. Unless Dani Pretorius takes another 1 or 2 wickets, then the CPI shots must have been rattled in the cages. Only having 5 more wickets on hand. They don't have the luxury of just swinging at everything now. There's a lot of wind coming here from the west, so they have to throw some caution to the wind and make sure that they're not just swinging wildly at any ball, because something like that will happen. And like we saw now, Dani Pretorius has always had some kind of plan with his bowling. If he's sending you one ball to the shoulder, you can expect another one low, coming in low. Fresh at the stance. Dani bowling. Another one coming on chest high. Christian Wiese not faced by that. Just leaving it to go through to the wicket keeper. And that was over for Dani Pretorius. Like we predicted, now his alternative bowler will be Sean Higley. Maybe showing his son Jonathan Higley how it's done. Now the Emperor is standing on long off. Body position of the batsmen now, the fresh batsmen, or both of them, Louis Fourie and Christian Wiese, now at the stumps. They haven't found their rhythm yet, so they will be making this mistake and looking into the direction they're going to try and hit the ball. Obviously, people will be saying that now they are looking where the fielders are placed, knowing by now batsmen are acutely aware where the fielders are placed and where they will be able to hit that ball. Christian Wiese facing the onslaught of Sean Higley. And it's a second ball just being knocked on the backward point. Not exactly sure whether that was intended, but we should believe so if it happens 2 times in a row. But it also means that he is looking at the gap at deep point. There's a massive gap in the fielding, where if he hits it just right, finds a sweet spot, the ball will be racing over the boundary in that direction. And now all of a sudden he tries to play it towards deep square leg. Didn't work, and that might probably be because Louis Ferreira is just struggling to find his rhythm, being fresh at the pitch. Things should be going better soon, but they don't have much time, only 2 more overs from the end. tell you this, that the Bloem Rebels know it, that as long as they keep these two batsmen nervous, trying to stop them from going for the big shots, they won't find their rhythm and won't be hitting those big shots to push up that projected score much higher. And it is Jonathan Hinckley bowling. Will that be a 4? That umpire Ayana is calling that a 4. Looks like a misfield or just a foul at the border or on the boundary. And it looks like Donnie Pretorius who says, sorry mate, mistake from my part. And that is one who took the beautiful stump from the previous over. Jonathan Hinckley. Being hit to backwards square leg, and looks like only 2 runs from that over. How much is left in this game? Current score 141 for the loss of 3 wickets. 1 batsman have declared, and that's another big score. It's game because it's dropped on the boundary. Cow's corner being bad luck for the CPI hot shots today. For the Bloem Rebels, maybe a bit of good luck to the CPI hot shots. Will they test that area again? Nope. Now at the perfect opportunity to hit for the point position. Just didn't take it. Maybe just the bounce of the ball wasn't just right. Can I show you that Jonathan Hinckley is getting a lot of suggestions from his dad and from Donnie Pretorius on that. And there's a ball once again running to the boundary. He's not going to make it. Stop here in front of us. Just enough to score another single or a double run. Projected score 155. Jonathan Hinckley approaching, and the ball is being hit by square leg. Just enough for a single run. Score slowly creeping up to 147 runs for a loss of 3 wickets. Only the last over remaining. It's so nice to see that the spectators have brought the dog to the game. Because the dog is enjoying himself next to the field, not making a nuisance of himself on the field. But it's an indication of how much relaxed the spectators are. Came here to light the fire, to cry. The ball racing to the boundary is not going to make it. Looks like a double from that delivery. Obviously the projected score will be getting more accurate as last over runs out. And now the ball races to the boundary towards us. It's a far way to run from point to position from the fielder. He should say Slimer, but there's so many changes that has happened during this match, before and during. We cannot go on the number of the shirt or the person's name on the shirt. Most of the names that we were announcing on earlier are those that we have made sure of. And those are the guys that we have noticed. Is that a stump? Looks like Ayanda says no. We can keep not seeing that much action today. Not in the stumping department. But he's been doing his jobs very well nevertheless. Another big attempt, and that is going to be a 4 in the point position. Our mistake was not a point, that is deep mid-wicket area. Also learning the fielding positions as we go along, and it should be getting better every week. Sean Hickley approaching. Another big hit, it's up in the air, it's almost off, now it's rolling down the grass. Fielded by Jonathan Hickley, returning the ball to his dad, the family player. Sean, another big hit, but it's rolling down the ground. Once again stopped by Jonathan. Having a family game here. Just included Christian Wiese to direct the ball in different directions. But that was it for the first innings. CPI Archer scoring 161 runs in the first innings. Will the Rebels be able to get that? We believe so, but you have to watch. Guys are just going to take a 5-minute break quickly before they return, where the Rebels will be facing the CPI Archers, and the Archers will start by bowling from the Tempe end, and a lot of action still open in this game. Just going to take a break quickly. We'll be back before the match starts, so enjoy. Sorry, we see that our audio stream was momentarily muted. Back up again now. And you see JP Hunt bowling to Jeffrey Mayberg. That ball is being knocked to deep square leg. Just like a few balls before that one, we keep seeing balls going in that direction. The whole day we've seen shots being played deep square leg, cows corner, deep extra or deep point, deep extra cover. Very few played to third man, and that is where maybe the bowlers aren't fast enough to make that contributive shot to getting any runs in from that direction. Ball is just not being bowled fast enough for that. But remember that the bowlers only have 12 meters to approach the wicket, so they don't have much time to get up speed and bowl a quick ball. Obviously, we've seen people like Alan Donald and Fani de Villiers. They've got a massive approach to the pitch. And there's another big shot being played straight to deep extra cover. Not going to amount to many runs. With his skill, there is not going to be a boundary from that ball. And we see JP out bowling. He's not happy with that ball, and umpire Ayana says it's a wide. Archie just struggling to find his shot. Maybe also getting a bit frustrated. Trying to get a better angle, maybe something in that area. Something like that looks a lot better. It's just getting the tripod to stay there. Maybe shifting the phone a bit. That ball races again, once again, to deep extra cover. Just twisting it a little, and we should be fine. I think that is perfect. A lot better than what we had. I hope you agree. And we've got the sound going through. Ayana calls it a 4. some advice going to Franco Pretorius now to bowl the ball a little bit slower so that Archie hits the ball into the wind. Wind is now coming from the west side. Intermittently we've got some clouds moving in front of the sun. Maybe it's causing a bit of trouble to the batsman. It's definitely going to cause some trouble for a fielder if the ball is hit in that direction. But that was nearly bowled. But Archie is safe and he's going through for a single run. Now the score stands on 21 runs without the loss of any wickets. The required run rate is 141 from 81 balls. There was a mistake with that. It was 140 runs from 81 balls. It's quite achievable, especially by the Rebels, their class of play. And it's Archie Kutsia facing JP Hunt. Exciting player, this JP Hunt. Archie Kutsia now opening up his arms. Well stopped by the boundary. Very well fielded by the Rebels, the CPI outshot player. He shoots his bonus, but I'm not exactly sure if it is the man saying what his shoots is. But there is a ball running to the boundary. It was stopped. CPI hot shots not allowing any boundary to come through. Well, obviously not giving away runs, so they're making sure that they stop everything, and we see that most of their players are on the boundaries. And we see Archie Kutsia just not doing what we know he can do. Maybe he's just trying to get some not kind of relaxation on there, but a kind of consistency before scoring the big runs. And that ball is running to the boundary once again. And now runs just being given away. Once again, we see on the Division 1 cricket, it's quite hard to come by runs. They're not those sixes that we saw in the match where JP van der Westhuizen where he scored sixes like they were easy to come by. The field is just a bit too big for that, and the bowling is a bit difficult here. JP van der Westhuizen, JP de Villiers scored. He's got the world record for the amount of sixes in a match. It's like 63 sixes. I think the world record is 63 sixes. So you can imagine how what was his score in that innings. And another attempt at the big shot which failed by Jeffrey Mayberg. maybe getting a little bit frustrated, not getting the boundaries that they need. And if you look at the last 10 balls, we don't see too many boundaries. We see a one boundary, one no ball, one, no ball, one. So we would have wished a lot better runs from them. And once again, we see just not a shot coming together for Archie. Maybe it's a bit of frustration. And it could also be very well that we are expecting them to make it look easy when it isn't. We get that players who make some shots look easy, and other players that just they struggle, and any team can struggle. And we have to remember on this pitch now as well, there's not going to be very quick balls coming through as the pitch has been played on yesterday. It's undetermined how long they played. The groundsman will obviously be able to tell us details about that. But when we look at today only, this is the third match of the day, and yeah, the pitch is getting softer as match progresses, which means that ball is going to bounce lower. It's not going to get much bounce out of it. But then again, we saw that Donnie Pretorius was able to get some bounce out of the ball earlier when he bowled two players, batsmen. He bowled them against the shoulders. And it's JP Hunt returning to his bowling position from the Tempe end, where he will be making his difference. His teammates calling him James, so what just happened to JP Hunt? Just twist his ankle. Seeing the frustration on his face, it might have been a lingering injury that he's had for a while. It was just injuring yourself all of a sudden. Will be frustrated with it, but not as much as he's just displayed over there. So it must have been something he's been expected, and hope it didn't happen, and now audibly telling his teammates it happened again. Jumping on the other leg. We can only wonder, will he be able to finish this over? Oh, it is. Well, he was on his way to bowl before bowl, and looks like he's changed to Franco Pretorius now bowling. Now, if it was school cricket, you would have been able to put that guy on maybe a wicket position where he doesn't have to move around too much. But then looking at this level of cricket, a wicketkeeper is supposed to be moving around constantly as balls are being thrown in from the boundaries, which means maybe that kind of an idea changed a lot. And now this is a second player going off the field. Wondering how many people can be replaced. I think we will be speaking a little bit later on to maybe Donnie Pretorius or somebody that can explain what happened to the guys, how serious it is, how are they progressing, what is And as we have mentioned earlier, in the Free State, it's very hot over here. And one of the important things playing this in is to keep hydrated. So it might be a possibility that not only that they might have twisted his ankle, some cramps can be sitting in. Now, being a cyclist and Ironman myself, I'm very well aware of the hydration you need to stop yourself from cramping. Also knowing that once you start cramping, basically it's already too late. Because in running terms, I know my body, I have to take about a liter of water for every hour for intense cycling or running, because that's the amount that I sweat, being a heavy sweater. But in cricket, the statistics might be a little bit different. They might change differently depending on how intensive the match is. But whatever the case may be, in any sport, if you're out in the sun, not only wearing sunscreen is a good idea, like our mothers told us, mothers and grandmothers and doctors, it is always good to keep hydrated, and we don't see in cricket where people standing with a lot of water bottles with them or taking breaks to drink something. We've seen a little bit earlier where the hot shots, where they brought up a canister where they all drank from. It looked like a 20-liter water bottle. That is not the case now, and I hope it doesn't bite them. It's getting cooler, maybe they're taking chances. It's not only to deter from getting cramps, because as you dry out from sweating and standing in the heat, you don't always realize the amount of water that you are sweating or you are losing, because it's very hot. Your sweat is being evaporated from the skin, so you're not necessarily wet, but you're losing all your moisture, and that is what causes the cramping. And on top of that, your decision making is going to change, because how it affects your thinking and how you react to certain things is going to be negatively impacted. So to stay on top of it, you actually need to keep hydrated, not just for cramping sake. You get a lot of medication to stop you from cramping, but at the end of the day, you want to keep your mind sharp as well. Is he bold? No, he isn't. That was close to being bold. Umpire Yanda says no. He's looking at it, but no. The application was sent in and denied. And that ball went right through. Dirty Naked looks like Tristan Visser nicked the ball, losing his wicket. And maybe it's just exactly a thing that we need to get some excitement back into this game. If we are correct, it's Donny Pretorius coming in, maybe not. Yes, it is. And we could probably get some kind of a run rate going, because Bloem Rebels only scored now 30 runs in the first 6 and odd overs, and they need to step it up if they want to have a chance of beating the CPI hot shots. We suspected earlier that it's going to be easy. Now we can see that it's getting more and more difficult. Never say never, no? They are required to score 132 runs from 67 balls. So definitely, they're going to need a lot more boundaries. Never think that two things are very, very similar. If you struggle to score runs, you need to take the wickets. But either way, you need to make a difference over there. And that is what is expected now from non-Pretorians. Being a multiple award winner of Player of the Match awards, and now being expected to bring some form of maybe a increased run rate to the pitch, being the more experienced player, but he's not found his rhythm yet. Can he do it today? I personally know that he has a tendency of pushing himself as far as he can. Being a professional sportsman, he won't be happy with anything less than his best. And it's nice that the rebels are talking. Maybe less talking and getting more boundaries. It's good to plan, strategize, but what is important is, can you deliver? Well, if we look back at the CPI Hotshots that delivered a spectacular fielding show early on in the first innings, where they showed that they can stop runs from coming through, and then somehow that just slipped away a little bit later on. And obviously that is depending on whether you look later on the game what has happened, and obviously easier to look at things in hindsight whether it was a good idea or not, where the match had slipped away, because we presumed that the CPI Hotshots didn't get enough runs. But now as we look at the run rate from the Rebels, it looked like that could be more than enough. Now almost, in the 7th over, there's only 32 runs, and that is a middle stump gone. Donnie Pretorius will be very, very, very disgusted with himself. Not making the difference at the stumps as he wished for. And still, the weight of responsibility is weighing more and more heavier on Archie's shoulders. Sean Hickey now coming to the pitch. Will he be able to get things going for the Rebels? Looks like nothing is going well for the Rebels now. Obviously, Sean Hickey also a multiple winner of the Player of the Match award. We expect so much from him. Hopefully, he will be able to bring things together for the Rebels and put up some kind of a battle for the Rebels. So, is that going to be a LBW? The application was sent in and Ayanda says denied. Sean Hickey just playing safe, knocking it away to square. And that is a well-deserved low over 4 the hot shots. And the hot shots seems to be looking a lot hotter with every innings, that the Rebels are struggling to score some runs. It is lucky that Archie's got such big shoulders, because the responsibility is weighing heavy on him right now, along with Archie, along with Sean Hickley. Both of these guys are quite capable of handling this pressure, which will be beautiful to watch now. Is how they will be absorbing that pressure and how they will get out of that problem and how they will be handling it. And that is what sportsmanship is. Being presented with a significant problem, one where you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, and then hopefully coming out victorious on the other hand. As we know as sports people, or as a sports community, that doesn't always happen. Sometimes a good team loses tragically in a match which seems simple. We've seen the South African men's cricket team choking multiple times at World Cups, and they aren't the only ones. And that is a 4 through the covers. Really, the Archers making plans to stop that kind of thing happening again. Although the Bloem Rebels has a long way to go. And that is called a wide by umpire Ayanda. And another ball is racing to the boundary. It's not going to make the fielder in the way, stopping that possibility of 4 runs being added to the Bloem Rebels. And we see now that the Bloem Rebels are supposed to score 121 runs from 55 balls. Can it be done? Well, obviously. Are they going to do it? Well, we just have to wait and see. And we see some kind of enthusiasm sprouting up on the faces of the CPI hotshots, knowing that it is getting difficult and more difficult for the Rebels to reach their target score. It is almost like they feel that they've won already. It tells us and it's in these times that we see that opposing team just need to shake up that confidence. We're in the 9th over, almost halfway through the second innings, and the Rebels aren't even close to halfway the target score. That is also kind of expected, because even the hot shots were scoring scoring the majority of their runs in the last third of the game. Or the last third of the innings. Another wide called by Ayanda. Called by Bloem. That's a big hit, but didn't struck it well. Very struck the fielder. And Archie on strike. If you look at this score now, it's Archie could see standing on 18 runs from 20 balls. And Sean Eagley received 10 balls, scoring 11 runs. Both of these guys won't be very happy with those kind of statistics. Who will be happy is Bloem. And then something like that happens. It's just didn't strike it well enough to be a boundary, but Archie just shaking things up a little. Hitting the ball towards deep mid-wicket. But the Archers are too well organized to stop that ball from being a four. Bloem will be very happy with that over. Teammates congratulating him. Well done, boy. Now it's a field change. We see that Archers will now be bowling from the Shimla end. And it is always happens at the 10th over. And what is required from the Bloem Rebels? Do you have any chance of negotiating a kind of a win against the Archers? They need to score 116 runs from 50 balls. Impossible? Well, obviously not. Even if you get your mathematics together and use a calculator, you can see that is nearly half the amount of balls, more than half needed. But in cricket you can score boundaries where you get 4 runs from a ball, 4s and 6s, so that is exactly what is needed to contain the score of the CPI Archers. Now we see the Archers players, a couple of young guys, energetic guys, which counts in their favour against the older guys of the Rebels. Not that it is any form of an excuse, but we can see that Archie is trying his best to get that ball away, just not able to connect with the ball as he wished. Sean Eagley hitting the ball for a 4, a much needed 4, and which went all the way to cow corner. That won't be enough to bring them out of trouble, but it is a start. everyone know deer bowling. And it's not going to get many runs from that delivery. And we see that the hot shots fielders are now all moving to the boundaries. Obviously knowing that the rebels need boundaries to get out of their predicament at the moment, and they're going to try and stop that like they've done up to now in any case. So nothing much has changed. Only difference is they're going to encourage the fielders now to rather score singles and doubles. And we see that the fielders of the hard shots have a long way to run to pick up that ball on the boundary, but he had ample time to pick it up and run the ball in, as the ball didn't have enough momentum to carry to the boundary and not get a fall from it. You can only actually feel the disheartened feelings of the batsmen now. They're trying their best. It's not like they aren't trying. They're trying everything they can. It's just not happening for them. They're just not getting a break. And at the same time, they've got a few wickets in hand. But it would be stupid now to just swing at every ball and try to hit boundaries from every ball. So is this working for the Rebels right now? I think you can decide. Met 200
Ja, 200, 500.
50, 70, 80.
Want hy gaat amper nou kom en ek gaan nou ry, want ek is baie voor julle. Ek het so al 16 maand. So kry jy 3400 maar ek kan al myself is over.
Hy klaar geshoot. Is nou in die 11de oor. Maar ja, dit lyk goed vir Rebels. onslaught of the rebels is continuing, standing on 60 runs with a loss of 3 wickets, and they require 102 runs from 41 balls. We predict that is not going to happen today. Bloem Rebels having all sorts of trouble over here. Losing players, being hurt or being injured, but then again the same happened on the hard shot side, so that is no excuse. For today we can make the pre-judgment, maybe pre-judgment that the hard shots were the new players. The Rebels, they just had a bit of bad luck, and just doesn't seem that anything could have came together. And it's a pity, but it is a strategy that worked for the hot shots. The Rebels started with it, excellent fielding, but losing the tempo of their runs slipped away from them in the last third of the match, and that is a wide call by Ayanda. You can feel the discouragement of the Rebels at the stumps, just going through emotions. And that ball is up in the air, is going to be caught. Now it's dropped. That is a pity. Well fielded the entire day, and then when it is counting, you drop a ball. And we see Sean Hickley swinging at balls going wide, obviously knowing that he has to score boundaries now to make any impact on this game. They will go down swinging. It's another shot, just not finding the gaps. Well hit, straight to the field. Will we be able to see that Ali Hassan makes a difference here at the stumps? We hope so. And we see Logan bowling just too wide, once again confirmed by umpire Ayanda. And that swings it eyes up in the air. The field is on it, and that is a 6 confirmed by Ayanda. Well done. Ali coming in, making a change in pace, scoring boundaries, much needed for the Rebels. Will he be able to do it? We hope so. He's got a perfect partner to help him go through those emotions of scoring many more boundaries as needed for the Rebels, and that is in the form of Sean Hickley with ample experience to get him out of that sort of situation. Now in the 13th over, is it too late? That is a question, maybe not. And then Sean goes and does something like that, and we see a misfield once again from the hard shots. And for some reason we also see the hard shots not looking so confident anymore. Not talking as much. And that ball is going to race for the boundary. It's not going to make it though. It's going to stop short of the boundary. It's knocked the third man. But Henry Venter bowling. That's a hard lead to back to the bowler. Ali not getting what he wanted from that. Another big hit towards. It was in the sun, the bowler couldn't see it, and that is racing to the boundary. If the sun wasn't a problem, that fielder would most probably have caught it. That's assuming he would have tried to make up for his mistake earlier when he dropped the ball earlier. Maybe a strategy from the rebel side to keep hitting the ball in that direction, high balls into the sun. And it looks like it because he does it again. But this time the ball rolls down the field and it's not going to have the same impact as the sun behind it. That hot shots are just trying to finish this game now. They are limiting the runs coming from boundaries, and maybe another over before the massive onslaught is coming from the rebels. Obviously keeping caution to only the few wickets they still have in hand, but there would be a shift in the next over. We feel that coming, but unfortunately with the brilliant fielding from the Archers, we also feel that that onslaught is going to cost the wickets, allowing them to be stopped before they reach the 20th over innings. It's dropped once again, and that tactic is working for Ali. Hitting the ball into the sun, to Cow's corner, and that fielder is going to he cannot be happy with himself, but what can you do if you cannot see the ball and you have to catch it? You don't want to disappoint your teammates, but it's so difficult. Ball staying low. Obviously seeing that Sean Hickley and Ali Hassan is picking up the run rate and they are finding their rhythm. That one didn't connect as Son would have wished for. And we see that now they're standing on, they need 71 runs from 25 balls. That's going to be a difficult order. There's going to be a lot more boundaries to make it even remotely possible. But that doesn't matter. Let's look at what they are able to do now. And even if they fall short from the target score, how much character will they be able to display in their dire need for boundaries? It's all about being a gentleman sport, showing character. Also going with that, being a gentleman is also like being a father. When life doesn't go your way, you still have to push through and keep your cool. It's like a duck swimming on the pond. There's another big hit, this time from Sean Hinkley. He didn't go to the boundary, or he went towards the boundary, but it's not going to make it. But it wasn't in the sun like the shots from Ali, and the field was able to see it, and definitely he was able to stop that ball from being a four. And another ball being sent in that direction, but this time it's going to be a four. Confirmed by Ayanda. Looks like that is going to be the area where the fours will be coming from for the remainder of the game. And Ali and Sean Hinkley, they are now confidently sending balls that way. But is it too little too late? In the 15th over, they've got some wickets in hand, and now they have to score 66 runs from 23 balls. That's a massive force. They need more than just fours, they need sixes. And they will be swinging at everything now. Now they need somebody like AP de Villiers on their side who can scoring sixes like it's nobody's business. As you said, now they just be swinging at everything now because every ball counts. And sometimes you miss and you can nick the ball and then you lose a wicket. You can always be safe to say that the Rebels won't be able to get that target. It's now, I think, a matter of getting in a 20% difference so that they still get a few points going into the finals, the semi-finals and the finals from next week and the week thereafter. Obviously points will not mean much then anymore, as they will be going into kind of a knockout round where now the points matter. Getting a bit of refreshments for the batsmen, much needed. Actually, from our perspective, they've been drinking too little fluids for the amount of time they were standing at the pitch. Maybe having a significant influence on why they are struggling just to get off the mark. They've just reached 100 runs, and that is in the 16th over. Are we expecting too much from the Rebels? Well, if it's not your day, it's not your day. And that's a 6. Well earned by Sean Hinkley. He deserved that 6. And he will be looking for a lot more of those in the next few deliveries. We just ran out of 2 liters of cool drink. Also staying well side. Maybe allows us to stop talking about some nonsense too early on. Maybe we're always talking some kind of nonsense. As long as the nonsense is kind of entertaining, we will be continuing to speak nonsense. It's a joke by the player because there was a spare ball lying on the field. And now we see Edwin Nodia approaching. Now it's just been knocked back to the third man. It's not going to be a boundary. Well fielded. Back to the wicketkeeper, then to the bowler. Getting ready for the next delivery. Sean Nickley standing on 42 runs from 26 balls. Mostly picked up run rate from that last year. And the ball is up in the air. Is it going to caught? And it scored. This time that fielder took the ball, not making a mistake, making up for all the problems that he's caused the team up to now, and screwing in another nail into the coffin of the Rebels, taking out one of the most predominant players, Sean Nickley, who was on his way to be retiring. Not going to be happening today though. But Ali is being joined by Quinton Ferreira, who also has proven himself in the box. The fat lady hasn't sung yet, but now the required run rate is 58 from 16 balls, 53 from 16 balls. Does that matter? Well, probably not. It all depends on whether the Rebels will be able to score another 20 to 30 runs. I have to stay in that 20 percentile bracket. All about points now. That's a full toss. Ball is going to the boundary. It's not going to make it. It's just being picked up by a deep cover. And the frustration in the Rebels batsmen are mounting. Louis Fourier approaching. Fancy shot tried by the Rebels. It was Quinton Ferreira trying to make his mark. It just didn't happen. LBW was cool, but Ayana won't have any of it. Louis approaching. Another big hit, this time from Ali. We can see, and that is called and confirmed as a 6 by Ayanda. Ali making his mark once again on this pitch. Now being the senior player, not exactly sure whether he's older than his partner, but he is definitely having more experience of the hard shots playing here today, of the hard shots bowlers actually. But he's making his mark. now standing on 35 runs from 17 balls, looking a lot better than it looked earlier, but it's not going to be enough. And now trying to hit a 4 from every ball and not being able today to make it. That is in the order of what happened for the rest of the day, where they tried and tried this, tried that, trying everything they were possibly can, or they possibly could, and it just didn't work out. The fielding of the hard shots was too good for them today. Is that going to be called a wide by Aparayada? No, it's not. Now it says it's wide. And another big shot. It's racing to the boundary, but it's not going to make it. It's being stopped, sent back to the bowler, and we will have an opportunity to go for another delivery, nailing the coffin shut for the Rebels. And that went right through. Quinton Ferreira didn't see that ball. Now Quinton and Andre decided they're going to make a plan. Something is needed. Only 2 overs left. They need to score 41 runs from 10 balls. That means at least a 4 from every ball, on top of having 1 6. We wish we could have said that. Watching that happening would have been awesome. But being realistic, we've seen them trying to hit boundaries the entire day and just didn't come together. And that ball is up in the air. That is going to be caught. And that is caught. It's going to be a double play. No, it's not. But we can see that Ali is very disappointed with himself. But he's still remaining, so that was probably dropped. Another sweep shot from Quinton Ferreira. It just didn't work out again. The shots aren't working. It is not a lack of experience, definitely. It's just one of those days, which is horrible. You just have to get it over with. There's another 4 coming from for Ferreira. Just one of those days that you have to write off, take it on the chin, and just forget about it. Now they need 35 runs from 8 balls. Aiming for a 6, getting nothing, almost lost a wicket, and that is the story of the Rebels today. Henry Vetter attacking the last bit of hope of the Rebels. And that ball is rising to the boundary, but it was beautifully stopped by the outside fielder. And he probably has a girlfriend that loves him very much. Why? Because girlfriends like leaders who know their boundaries. Another attempt at the boundary. It's right to the boundary, but the same fielder with a lovely girlfriend just confirmed that the ball was stopped before being a boundary and returned to the bowler. The situation is now so dire for the Rebels. The batsmen are already congratulating each other for a job well done. We've tried. Wouldn't call it really failed, but they've tried and they've learned. Sometimes things just don't go your way, but an excellent kudos to the CPI Hotshots for attacking this game head on and playing the way that they've played. Taking the example from the Rebels earlier on by fielding viciously, vigorously, stopping every possible boundary. The difference is they were able to keep up that kind of fielding where the Rebels didn't. They just let it slip in the last third of the innings. But well done for the Rebels, just trying to go for those big shots. That is confirmed wild by Ayanda. Not wild, wide by Ayanda. But it's probably a wild wide. Another attempt for a 6, it's not happening. He scored, and Ali scored. And actually, Ali scored. Sorry, Ali. Stopped on, looks like 42. His attempt at his 50 before he could retire. Just didn't happen again today. He tried, like every Rebel who tried. And we can see that we are now in the last over, with Bloem Rebels standing on 137 runs for the loss of 5 wickets, and they need 25 runs from 3 balls. Is it possible? No. Not even an LMS cricket where you can hit a full a home run on the last ball, which means you get 12 runs. If you hit a 6 from the last ball of the over. Even if that happens, it's not possible. Mathematically, it's not possible. Another attempt for a boundary didn't happen, but it's now all about fighting for your pride. For the Rebels, obviously. And Hotshots can be very proud on the way they performed here today. It wasn't something spectacular, but extremely well display of how good fielding and good bowling can limit your opposing team from doing what they want. And that is the game. That is the Bloem Rebels have lost to the CPI Hotshots, just not able to get into that rhythm of the run rate that was required. And the CPI Hotshots well deserved this win. Thank you very much for being part of this, and we'll see you again next Sunday. But look out this week for some articles about the matches, which we will be displaying on the website. Jurgen Smith, and have a great Sunday. Have a beautiful week. Take it easy. Don't stress too much. Life isn't all about working. Try your best and be the best person